you've been practicing some of your writing skills, and now you cannot wait to go out there and get your first freelance writing job. What are you gonna do? Where should you go? How do you get that first client or first couple clients, the first couple gigs? Today I'm gonna share with you 3 ways to getting your first freelance writing jobs. By the way, before you do anything else, click on the link below right there and hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification so that I know if you enjoy these videos and you find them helpful, then I will know to make more topics and make more videos based on what you like, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm making the videos to share with my fans. Way number 1, and that is going to freelance sites. There's so many freelance sites on the internet: guru.com, iwriter.com, freelancer.com, Upwork, of course. There are so many of them that you could just go on there and set up your own little profile and right there start bidding on jobs. And depends on your expertise and what area you want to focus on in copywriting. It's a simple way to kind of get your feet wet, right? Get your foot in the door, build out that portfolio, right? Start accumulating some little bit experience just to get it going. Always remember that your worst client is probably your first client. It is okay. As you learn, as you get experience, you will get better. So don't worry too much. I am much more concerned you getting into the game. Get in the game first, right? And that's okay. There's one problem with that approach, because when you go to those sites, you are seen as a commodity, right? That's like, hey, you know what? You're just a writer and you're writing, and that's okay. I'm choosing you between you and everybody else, and how much you charge and how much she charges, how much he charges, and all of that. So you don't have a lot of power, and it's very, very difficult to make a great income. You'll make a, okay, decent amount of income, leave it a side income, but it's very difficult to get to what I call a high income level. And that's fine, that's what most people do, but I don't like to do what most people do. I don't know about you. That's not what I did to get my copywriting career started, because at the time, these sites weren't available, right? Most people are trying to compete being a commodity, right? I don't like to do that. Here's what I like to do. We're gonna go big. Way number 2, shadow under a successful copywriter. That's what I did. I found my mentor, my very first mentor, Alan. He's a very, very successful copywriter. In fact, back then, Alan, he would not pencil, he would not write a sales letter unless he believes that sales letter, that campaign would generate at least $1 million or more. Now imagine that. He wouldn't write anything if he didn't believe what he wrote would produce at least $1 million or more in revenue. That is amazing, right? It was such a huge amount of money back then when I was learning copywriting and learning from him. So I shadowed under my copywriting mentor. So I was learning from him. He would teach me, he would critique my work, he would look at what I do, he would give me ideas, he would recommend, hey, study this, study that. That is good and that is not good. And that's how I got going. And what happens is there were a lot of people that were hiring Alan to write copy, right? And he would have me do a certain chunk, small chunks, just to get some experience. And later on, what I realized is, because for someone who is successful, there are a lot of people that would approach them, but they charge a certain price, like certain price. And a lot of clients coming in, they're not able to afford that price. So what do? They would just usually turn them away. But when they have an apprentice like you and me, a lot of those work that they don't want to take on because it's not worth the time, it gets flow through you. They would pass those work to you and say, hey, I don't want to write this because it's not worth my time. They can't afford to hire me, but if you want to take this on, Dan, you could. And that's exactly how I got those clients. And with my mentor's endorsement, and he would help me here and there, right? And that's how I got my first few copywriting clients. I didn't go to these freelance sites. So that's way number 2. Way number 3, this is genius. This is what people don't understand. You see, most writers, most copywriters, they're getting going, they're getting started, but they don't have a portfolio, they don't have a lot of track record, they don't even have a lot of experience. And they are cold emailing, they're sending inquiries to people and say, hey, hire me, I can write your copy, I can do this, I could do that. Well, how do I know? As an entrepreneur, as a company, I don't know what you could do. How could I trust you? I cannot. So instead of doing that, trying to spam people, trying to get work, because when you do that, what you're asking is this. You're asking the client to bear all the risk, to take all the risk on their shoulders and say, hey, I'm gonna give you a shot, I'm gonna pay you. If it doesn't work out, who's lost? It's the client's loss. That does not work. You want to reverse the risk. So here's what you do, and it's exactly what I did. Not only I was getting some referrals from my mentor, Alan, because I was working under him, working with him within his company. Those work gets passed down to me. I also selectively went after certain companies and certain entrepreneurs that I know that are influential. So here's what I did. At the time, J. Conrad Levinson, the godfather of guerrilla marketing. If you've seen some of Jay's work, he's written a series of books on marketing for small business owners. And Jay, he sold millions and millions of books in so many different languages worldwide. At the time, Jay had a membership site called Guerrilla Marketing Association. So here's what I did. I follow his work, I read his book, I study his market, look at what he does. I rewrote the entire sales page and then just sent it to him. And here's what I said. I said, Jay, I'm a big fan of your work. I read all your books. I really admire what you've done. I saw your page for your membership for your Guerrilla Marketing Association. I think that I find a couple things that maybe I could make it better. I don't know. Obviously, you are the expert. You're the master. I'm just a young copywriter, but here's something that I wrote that maybe that will help you. Didn't ask anything. I was adding value in advance. He looked at it. He replied and said, hey, Dan, this is great. I'm going to run with it. And I told him in the email, P.S., you don't have to pay me at all. I don't want anything from you. He took that page, he uploaded it. It tripled his conversion. Triple his conversion. Do you know what that means? That means now the same page with the same traffic now is generating 3 times more sales because of what I wrote. He was so happy. He was so grateful. He said, Dan, what you've done is great. Not only he gave me a testimonial, number one, he started referring me to other business owners. Now I'm endorsed, as in my early 20s without a lot of experience, now I'm endorsed by the godfather of guerrilla marketing with so many fans around the world. And that's how I grew my portfolio. That's how I grew my client base. So don't do what most people do. Trying to get something for nothing, trying to get money in advance. No, add value in advance before you ask anything in return. Use this strategy when you can selectively, strategically choose someone who you want to work with. Hey, are you going to be taken advantage by some people? Absolutely you will. I did. Is that okay? Yes. Because you're starting off with nothing anyway. No one is paying you. But if you get that 1 or 2 or 3 good clients and assuming that you're good, you do that, add value in advance, they'll either say, thank you so much, they might give you a testimonial. Even if they don't give you a testimonial, guess what? You are gaining experience. Or better yet, they look at what you do and you're really good. They'll say, I want to hire you. Now you have your client. You see how simple that is? Don't do what most people do. Got it? So those are the 3 ways to getting your first freelance writing jobs. Now I go much more in depth with this about how copywriting works and how do you actually become a high income copywriter, not a struggling copywriter, but a high income copywriter. There's a whole world of exciting opportunities out there for copywriters, and maybe you are thinking which path that you should decide. There are so many exciting opportunities for copywriters, and done right, this could be a very, very lucrative career for you. But so many people don't know. In fact, there's one kind of copy, a particular kind of copy right now that's high in demand that most people don't even know it yet. Now, it takes me more than a 5-7 minute video to explain what that is. Click a link below and get access to my on-demand training. I go much more in depth about what this unique opportunity is. If by the end of the training, you want me to personally train you and mentor you to become a high-income copywriter, you could choose to do that as well. So go ahead, click a link, and I'll see you in class.